start again. Take two. Hi. Um, as you're logging in, thank you so much for being here. I see familiar faces. I see new faces. I see family, friends of family. My job today and every day is to be of service, to shine more light than dark. And I forgot that this week. And so I wanted to share a story called First, the Human Experience. And then we're going to do a little bit of movement. And I was thinking, like, how am I going to coordinate this movement? And in the email, I said, bring a belt. And I had this like grand idea of some yoga poses, to calm the nervous system. But I realized it's just going to be about getting into the body more than anything. And so the first thing I want to share with you is my experience over the last 9 days. So I'm a yoga, breathwork, meditation teacher. I am also a Jewish woman. My grandfather was a Holocaust survivor out of 9 siblings. And I feel like on October 7th, when the world got the news that dormant cells in my body had somehow been activated. It's like, I really believe that the work that we're meant to do on the planet right now is to heal not only ourselves, but ancestral lineages. And so I don't know who they is, but I have read that you can heal 7 generations of trauma in your body, just born into something. And so I know, whether you're Jewish or not, that you also have a story of trauma somewhere along the lines of your lineage. And so on October 7th, I felt like all of my cells were reactivated. And for the first time ever, it felt like some of them didn't even belong to me. Like the feelings didn't belong to me. And regardless of where you were in the world, we are all connected. I really, really believe that. And so I felt it on so many levels. And I know that everyone I spoke to felt it. And then the bigger thing is, we have this platform called social media, and social media felt it, and everything exploded, and I exploded. And so in this human experience of being completely activated, I watched videos, as we probably all did, of people dying, of women, men, children, animals. I spoke to my family, my friends. I told stories of, Holocaust survivors, and I pulled out my Shabbat candles, and I made sure that my mezuzah, my front door, was glued on strong, and I shared opinions. And I realized 7 days into it that I had lost the connection to my heart. And that's also the human experience. And I know that some of you on here, maybe every single one of you, can relate to that. Losing the connection of who we truly are, because all of a sudden what we're seeing becomes this like us against them, the right and the wrong, the love and the hate. And so there's this like division in the world, and we're all feeling it. And I think more so in these days because of social media. And so I took a deep breath. To be completely honest, this past weekend, I was in a yoga teacher training program with my students, and we meet like one weekend a month. And on Friday night when we meet, we do a check-in. And for the first time, I realized I was not okay. And I was able to verbalize it, and I was able to be held in love and kindness and compassion and connection to each other. And I realized in that moment, that's what I had lost this whole week. And then once I realized that, what I was able to create was more love, more compassion, more kindness. My partner and I did a whole collection up here in the small town that we live in with very few full-time Jewish people. We collected supplies. Strangers showed up at my door delivering medical supplies and socks and long underwear and feminine products, and we made our trip down to the city, and we brought it to the United Jewish Appeal. And all of a sudden, instead of watching death and tragedy, all I saw was beauty. And that is the connection to our hearts. And so this whole purpose of today, of me putting this out there, is to raise our vibration. And anger and hatred and sadness and grief and loss are considered these, like, on the Hertz scale of vibrations, are considered very low. And when we're in a state like this, all of our vibrations start to lower. And because we're human, we forget. And so my job today is just to raise the vibration. And it doesn't mean that I have a solution. And it doesn't mean I'm going to give you answers. And it doesn't mean that we're going to log off of here and everything is going to be peaceful. But what it means is we change the vibration in the world that we live in. And I believe wholeheartedly that if we change our vibration, and then we change the space that we're in, that vibration, and it goes wider than our house and our families and our friends and our towns and our cities and our provinces and our country and the world, things shift. And we have been here before. And this isn't a conversation of we are powerful and resilient, and we are all of those things. And we are also human. And so I consider myself a light worker. I consider myself a healer. And I forgot that this week. And so if I'm forgetting it, and if I'm losing myself, I know that there are other people out there who are also forgetting it. Because at the core of our being, we are love. At the core of our being, we are kind. At the core of our being, we are compassionate. And so I wanted to share a meditation with you today. And I hope that if even for a moment you have a glimmer of the remembrance of what love feels like in your body, it will start to change our cells. And it is, I want to say it's magical when that happens. And so that is what I'm here to remind you of today. And so what I want you to do is, we're not going to get down on the floor. We're not going to do yoga poses. And I got all excited about it, that there would be like a yoga class and then there would be meditation. But what I want you to do is move. So I'm sitting in a chair right now. I am not on the floor. If you are on the floor and you want to move your body, go for it. If you want to stand and just shake, go for it. I'm actually going to just tap my body. I'm just going to like wake up my body. I'm going to shake. I'm going to arrive in my space, because the body holds so much memory. And if we don't move the energy. And I have been learning that over and over again with breath work. So we're going to do a little bit of breath work in our guided meditation. You can move your neck around wherever you're sitting, your shoulders. I can take my hands behind my head and open my heart. It doesn't have to be complicated. And we don't need a lot of space. Oh. And before we begin, if you're close to the computer and in the chat, you can write, what are the emotions that you're sitting with right now? What are the emotions that you're sitting with? Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it sadness? If you want to share, you can go ahead and do that. It's okay if you don't. Oh. Okay. I want you to take a comfortable seat. You can do that lying down if you like. And bring your left hand onto your heart and your right hand over your left. And you can lay down wherever you are. Beautiful. And I want you to turn to your breath, and you can feel the beat of your sweetheart. You get quiet enough for that. And whether you're here live or you're watching the replay, we are all connected. And so as you feel the beat of your good heart, imagine people on your right and imagine the energy of the people on your left. And as you breathe with your inhalation, can you have the breath move deeper into the belly so that as you inhale, the belly expands. And as you exhale, the belly draws back. Inhale, the belly expands. And exhale, the belly drops. That is a very, it's a diaphragmic breath, and it moves us into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and relax. And so if you take away anything today, can you engage the diaphragm enough at any point that you could just return back to your breath? Wherever you are, it's going to be with you. And keep that sweet, gentle breath going. And on your next inhalation, as you inhale, inhale fully, pause for a moment, and then sip another inhalation so that you know what the true capacity of your lungs is. And very few of us use it. So it's like, and pause at the top for a moment, and then exhale. And so it's and you can feel the cooling of the breath going in and the warmth of the breath going out. And at any point, I call it home base. You can return back to home base, the natural rhythm of your breath, but make sure that it stays in the belly. And I want you to imagine an expanding light starting at your heart center. A radiant golden light. You get to choose the color, but it is bright and it is starting at your heart center. And you can feel the warmth around it. And it's been there the whole time. And somehow we forgot because we're human. And in your heart, as you hold this radiant light in whatever color you're visualizing, it's a light of love and compassion, a beacon of hope. And breathe. Maybe even a little bit deeper. And with your exhales, whatever you're sitting on, get heavier. When you think you've released, let go even more. And I want you to imagine this ever expanding warm light from the center of your heart, moving through your entire body. You can feel it in your arms, in your torso, in your organs, down your legs, flowing gently through you. What does love feel like in every cell of your body? Can you feel your body softening? Can you feel your breath settle? Are you getting warmer? And on your next inhalation, I want you to hold the breath at the top of your inhalation. And I want you to hold it, let's say for 15 seconds. You can count it out. You're in charge. You have the capacity to exhale anytime you need. But as you're holding the breath, visualize the cells even getting lighter and more expansive. And then exhale fully. Do that 3 more times. Hold it. And even in the hold, there's this very subtle pulsation of love reverberating. And you hold, and the urge to breathe, you just go past that. And you expand the capacity of your lungs. And you exhale. You can let it out with a sigh, but you let it out. You can hear it. Just do that one more time. And as the capacity of our lungs expands, so does the capacity of our hearts. You can feel it. And you have that urge and you can feel it bubbling and you hold just past it. And then let it out with a sigh. And return back to home base with your breath. And now I want you to picture yourself surrounded by the world of people. And you are all connected by this very light thread. And there is light in each and every one of us. Just like when we started, you can feel the energy of the people on your right and the people on your left, and that thread that is connecting each and every one of us, each and every human, with this bright, radiant light pulsating in our bodies. The collective energy is harmonious, is peaceful. See if you can let yourself settle into that. Breathe. And when the mind wanders, you can gently go back to the beat of your own heart and the bright, radiant light that rests there, and the breath. And in this world of light that we sit in together, in this moment, there is no room for fear. The light and the love that we are creating is the guiding force. And as you breathe in love. And it is filling your entire being. And as you exhale, you release the fear and the negativity. What's holding you back? Let that wash away. Let the images that you viewed on your screens over the last week dissolve so that you can see more beauty, more light, and not because it doesn't matter, but what we choose to focus on grows even more. And we get to respond in what makes us feel whole for this moment, nothing more. And what we focus on grows. And we choose wisely because love is stronger than fear. And now it's time to get even bigger. And so this light that you started at your heart center and has moved to the body, every ounce of your body, your organs, your cells. Can you move that beyond your body? Can you embrace the people in your house, your neighbors, your friends, your family, your towns, your cities, our countries? the world. Can you visualize this bright light radiating? The one that started right at your heart center, that has connected each and every one of us in this moment. Can it expand beyond the space that you are in? That's the vibration. That's the energy we put out. And we look for the beauty. Only light and this light that you have created, that has extended beyond your body, is bringing comfort and healing, unity, erasing divisions, and cultivating more peace. Maybe there's faces that you're seeing in this. Can you envision world leaders, the individuals in conflict, those who are suffering? Can you bathe them in the same loving light that you have within you? Breathe that in. See their fears dissipating. Replaced by compassion and a shared desire for peace. Because in this moment, we are all connected. And I believe that there is a ripple effect of this vibration. It's not just about changing the world, but it's about changing ourselves. Take a few moments. Breathe deep into that. And if you've drifted off and the mind is wandering, bring it back to your breath. Nice long inhalations, nice long exhalations. Let the breath be in the belly. And even if it's slightly uncomfortable, even if you can't really imagine, for a moment, go to what that feels like. A little light that started deep in your heart, that radiated through your body and into your house and your neighbors and your friends and your family and your town and your city and your province and your country and the world and the planet. Breathe that in. And know that in the coming days, weeks, we're all praying for the same thing. We all want more love, more compassion, more peace. And so we keep praying, and it's not to say that other feelings won't come up and there won't be lots of tears shed, but we can return back to this and continue to raise our vibration. Together, we can make a difference. I know that in my heart. I feel that in every cell of my being. And in the human experience, we might get lost. And we might forget. And we might go down some dark roads. But it's our hearts. They're going to take us back. And that's what we need to remember. And so when you're ready, you can start to move your body again. And breathe deep. And stretch. And I know that for me, making sure that I get outside and making sure that I limit my screen time and making sure that I nurture myself with good food and stay hydrated and get enough sleep. Those are really incredible tools to use so that we're not overwhelmed. And I hope that you're going to remember anytime you need this, you can return back to it. Thank you. Place your left hand onto your heart and your right hand over your left. And get quiet enough that you can feel the beat of your kind heart. I love you. I thank you so much for being here. You're going to get the replay and you can share it to as many people who might need to hear this. And I will see you soon. You can leave messages, fear of what's going to happen. Yeah. It's taking us out of the present moment when we're staying focused on, worrying is taking us out of the present moment. And so we've got to keep coming back to this, our breath right here. This is why I started moving, Yeah. Oh, you're so welcome, Karen. Oh, and thank you. Keep breathing. Thanks. Thank you, everyone.